10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Zero. The promised land.
How we doing, everybody? I'm back again. I only went like 45 minutes ago. I was there, ready, prepared, researching, doing my Alessandro Martinez scouting video, which I'll still do this afternoon. But then Fabrizio Romano decided to tweet. What are you doing, Fabrizio? Trying to get some work done, but it's about Frenkie de Jong. And this is a big update. Let me run through it with you here. I apologize to anybody who thought I was going live at 11:10 p.m. I meant 11:10 a.m., but I even went live 3 minutes early. Now, how's that for treating you well? I'm going to run through the news. I'm going to waste absolutely no time. I know you've missed me. I've only been gone for like half an hour, but this is a big update. I've told you to try and remain. I know it's easy enough to say remain patient on the Frenkie de Jong situation. This is a big one. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano, and this is a significant update. For anybody who says it isn't, I don't think you're reading it properly. Manchester United have reached a full agreement, says Fabrizio Romano, with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. After further talks, package is worth 85 million euros. Now, that's exactly the same as the package that we thought we were agreeing with previously. But this is where it's different. Manchester United have guaranteed a fee of 75 million euros plus add-ons. Personal terms still the issue to be resolved, as Frenkie's priority is to stay at Barcelona, as his agents have reiterated time after time after time. But there's the big update. There's obviously been a breakthrough here, because let's rewind to Manchester United. This is on the BBC. Manchester United reaching a broad agreement with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. We'll remember what was being reported way back on the 28th of June. Look at that fee there. Manchester United have reached a broad agreement with Barcelona for 65 million euros up front. That has changed. Manchester United, this is not recycled news, people. You are not reading the news properly. Manchester United have increased the amount of money that we are paying up front for Frenkie de Jong. We've guaranteed an extra 10 million euros. Now, Fabrizio's down there saying, look, the personal terms are still the issue. That might mean that Manchester United have guaranteed more up front to placate that extra the delayed wages, the deferred wages. That's a big, important update. And as I said, if you're not understanding that, I'm trying to reiterate that to you now. Manchester United, as we've always known, every single journalist reported this for quite a while, that Manchester United had reached that broad agreement with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. And that was nearly a month ago now. But I believe, I'll be very surprised, really, if that 10 million isn't at least in part due to the wages that he is owed, that Barcelona are refusing to pay. That's a big update. That's a good one. I've tried to remain as positive on de Jong as possible. And I keep saying to you, he wants to, him not wanting to leave Barcelona and him wanting to join Manchester United, they are two different things. Jonathan, you're down here saying you are speculating, Sam. I'm not speculating on the fact that Manchester United have agreed to pay 10 million more up front. That is a big update. I just think I think you're all just pissed off at this point in time. Even if you get a positive update, a genuine update, which I will always bring you, I think you're going to try and find negatives in it, because all you want to do is see Frenkie de Jong in a Manchester United shirt. A bit like me, but hey, don't shoot the goddamn messenger. I'm just a messenger here, and I'm bringing it to you because I think this is an important update from Fabrizio Romano. Let me go down here. Ray, what are you saying, sir? There's more up front to pay de Jong. It is coming to an end. It is coming towards an end. And it is more up front. And Melvin, there is an assumption. There is an assumption from me there that extra 10 million is to do with the wages that he is owed. It may well just be extra cash. But something has changed from when Manchester United, visited, wrong one. There we go. We went to, both Richard Arnold and John Murto were in Barcelona this week. We obviously laid an offer on the table. It looks like Manchester United have managed to reach that, because a full agreement, it's all done now with Barcelona. The issue now remains solely, completely so, because those add-ons, right? It's been a lot of stuff going on about those add-ons. The 20 million, however much you can be paid up front, X, Y, Z. We've decided to half that. Instead of it being 20 million in add-ons, it's going to be 75 million up front instead of the 65. So that's increased 10 million from last time. So the negotiations have been still been going on. And now there's only going to be 10 million in add-ons. Let me go over here and I'm going to see if there's any other updates breaking on Twitter. This is breaking news. As I say, anything that happens outside of the 9:30 where I'm nice and prepared and researched, it all gets a bit crazy in different ones. So let me go down here and see what you're all saying. It's about Lisandro Martinez. Not much of a major update there. Let me see if Fabrizio is bringing us any more news. We're just waiting for that David Ornstein tweet. But as I said, I think people are just, even if there's an update like this, which is a genuine, massive update. This is a complete switch in the upfront fee and how much Manchester United are paying and in how close this deal is to being done. But I think you're just going to get angry at me in the comments because you're just a bit angry that De Jong's not already signed. But it's almost like transfers are complicated. And it's almost like this one is probably the most complicated one I think we're ever going to be involved in. If we find a transfer situation that's more complicated than this, Jesus, man. Whew. Tayo, sorry. We've signed him. The deal's not completely done yet. I'm not here shouting, here we go. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact that the full agreement has been reached with Barcelona is a major step. And it's not really about personal terms. It's not about how much De Jong's going to be earning at Manchester United. It's those wages. Now, I suppose what we'll see now over the next 24, I don't know, the rest of this week, is whether or not that extra 10 million is going to be used by Barcelona to pay part of those deferred wages to get this agreement done, because ultimately they need that money in the bank. They want that money in the bank. It suits them to sell De Jong. And the fact that they've reached that total agreement now, it doesn't matter what his agent says, because that's not what his agent is agreeing with. So let me just reiterate that. Paul, let me know where you're watching from, buddy. Mouse, you can say it's up to Frenkie now, I guess. It's way past that stage, people. Why? I don't know why you're looking at this in that sense. Like, as if we're reaching this point. Honestly, it's like you think that we're reaching this point with Barcelona, and then Frenkie is going to go, nah, actually, no, thanks. And then Barcelona go, all right, never mind. We'll carry on. Yep, as we were. Frenkie, in you go. It's not going to happen. Frenkie de Jong's leaving Barcelona. It's just the structure of these payments and where and how this money comes out and where it goes into. It's happening. All right? I've maintained this the entire way through. I've tried to anyway. And the fact that Fabrizio is still saying that. Do you know where Fabrizio gets his info? Oh, geez. Do you know where Fabrizio gets his information from? Agents. Do you know what his agents have been doing? They've been saying since day one that Frenkie de Jong does not want to leave Barcelona. Now, why would he do that? Because it's the best way for him to negotiate his wages that he is owed. And I'll run through this again for you, for anybody just joining in here. I covered this when. I feel pretty happy that I was not one of the... I don't like... Actually, no, sorry, I don't care about that. I'm just happy I covered it accurately. This is his wage. His wages were 14 million. 10% reduction in 2019-20, dropped to 3 million and 9 million in 2020-21 and 21-22. Then his wages were supposed to rise and he was going to be owed 17 million euros, right? That's what he's owed. Plus the bonuses up here, which I don't know whether that was going to be part of the negotiation process down here. It goes like, if you reduce your wages down there, then we'll pay you a bonus in the extra years. That was probably part of it. But that's the problem. That's the deferred wages, which we know about. And that is what he's been arguing about. And that is exactly why the whole way through this entire thing, Frenkie de Jong wants to stay. Frenkie de Jong loves Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong doesn't want to leave. Frenkie de Jong wants to stay. Reiterated time and time and time and time again, because it is the best possible position of strength for Frenkie de Jong and his agents to be in when trying to negotiate that money back from Barcelona. Imagine how much of a weaker position it would put De Jong in if his agent came out and said, yeah, he wants to leave. All of a sudden, immediately, boom, that loyalty bonus gets absolutely scrapped. Think about it. But this is what I mean about it. Think about it, people. If you really think and you put your mind to it, you can watch this unfolding in front of you. Unfortunately, that what I'm seeing with this Frenkie de Jong deal is a lot of similarities to politics. It's why people find politics so boring, because people will just blind-faced lie in front of a camera to gain negotiation power somewhere else. That's exactly what's been going on here with Frenkie de Jong. Unfortunately, Manchester United have been stuck in the middle of it. But this is a big update here from Frenkie de Jong. Roger, you're saying, I just won't believe that Ten Hag doesn't know that he wants to come. And I've reiterated that as well, Roger. Like, imagine thinking that Manchester United are going this hard and this far down the line with de Jong and Barcelona without assurances from Erik Ten Hag that de Jong wants to join, that de Jong will be happy to play for him again. And where does he get those assurances from? He picks his phone up and he rings Frenkie de Jong. Ten Hag wouldn't be leading Manchester United down a wild goose chase if he didn't know. And I mean no, not just assume. It's not as we won't be doing this based off the back of any assumptions. This is pure knowledge from Erik Ten Hag, directly from the horse's mouth. Frenkie de Jong and his agents, they'll be happy to join Manchester United. And that's something that I've maintained since day one. And I've tried to sort of push that across to you here on United People's TV as much as I possibly can, because I know the frustration is there. I know that we wanted to see Frenkie de Jong play against Liverpool and get a full pre-season under his belt for the best possible preparations. We know that. I wanted that. You wanted that. But it's not happened. It's not happened as quickly as we want to. And with the likes of Haaland and Nunez making their moves, it makes it all the more frustrating. I've got absolutely no doubt that at the start of the summer, and I'm probably still thinking that Frenkie de Jong would love to stay at Barcelona. But unfortunately for Frenkie de Jong now, that concept isn't based in reality. And that's something that he will have to accept as an adult and as a professional. In a Disney world, he'd stay at Barcelona. They win all the pots, and he'd have a dream career. But Barcelona are screwed. They're such a financially not bankrupt, but basically they're a financially unstable football club. They've got to sell him. And Man United there reaching a full agreement over a deal for Frenkie de Jong. That's a big step, because part of those conversations now, they would have had to have been about the wages, because you can't ignore the elephant in the room anymore. So the fact that we've got that full agreement, I'll be interested to know what happens next. Because as Fabrizio Romano puts down there, and that's why a lot of you will still have that trepidation about whether it's going to go through or not, the personal terms are still the issue. But it's not personal terms. We know it's the wages that he's owed. When Xavi said de Jong needs to go for money reasons, that was it for me. De Jong already knew he was off to United. I think he's known for a long time, man. I've told you. Frenkie de Jong he's Mr. Nice Guy. What we've seen here is a brutal character assassination of Frenkie de Jong by Barcelona. Instead of Barcelona admitting their own mistakes and their own flaws, they've painted this bad, negative picture of a player who literally has never put a step out of line in public. There's not one person who would really say, oh, that Frenkie de Jong guy, right? He's a twat. I've got a bad story about him. No one's got that. No one's got that. And Eric, I'm happy about it, man. I'm really happy. I don't care about being proven correct. It's not my mantra. That doesn't drive me to do what I do. I like reporting things accurately, and I like reporting things how I think they're happening. And what I try to help people understand is, on the surface, reading that, you might lose your shit. But I'm telling you, don't. You want to know what spin is? That right there is spin. That right there is Frenkie de Jong and, well, actually, no, probably not Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong's agent trying to make sure that he gains power in the negotiations, that he retains that power. Because without saying that he still wants to stay at Barcelona, all contract negotiations about loyalty bonuses go out the window. You've lost that. And that's what you're witnessing. I've told you, you're witnessing a really, it's just a really political, money-driven transfer. That's what it is. Ian, let me know where you're watching from, buddy. It feels like I'm ranting a little bit now, but it feels like I have to, because I want people to start thinking differently. I want you to start looking at transfer news a little bit differently. And maybe, is it a cynical perspective? Maybe it's a little bit of a cynical point of view, but it's never what it looks like on the surface, right? I'm going to read a few of your comments out here, see what you're saying. Ambarish, what are you saying? De Jong has told Ten Hag he's willing to join United, but sorting out his deferred wages needs to be completely clarified. This issue doesn't get resolved. He is fully content to stay. And just like I said before, Ambarish, if you gave up 65% of your wages and somebody else, your old boss, who you used to love working with your old boss in your old job, but he's moved somewhere else now, a new sexy company. You go, oh, crap, that looks good. Oh, you get a pay rise there too. All right, hold up. I'd love to join you, but I'm owed 65% of the wages from my current company. I need to get him. Can I get that sorted first? Yeah, cool. We'll get that done. That's the situation we are in. Ian, you're watching the whole way from Penang in Malaysia. How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much for joining in. Hope we don't pay him 400k a week. I don't know what the wages are going to be. I imagine Manchester United might have to slightly inflate the wage offer that we are giving him as a bit of a semi-compensation for Barcelona stuffing him. Because I don't think Barcelona are going to pay up. Where is it? Here. I don't think Barcelona are going to pay up that. So they owe him, what is it? 5 million from there, 11 million from there, 16 plus 1.5 million. That's 17-ish million plus loyalty bonuses. Anywhere between 17 million and 20 million euros is what he is owed in deferred wages. And as you can see here, Manchester United's broad agreement with De Jong, and this was on the BBC, this was back on the 28th of June, that was 65 million euros. That has now increased to 75 million euros. So Manchester United aren't paying 20 million in add-ons. We're paying 10 million in add-ons, and we're paying a little bit more up front. That's obviously something that I think will accelerate this deal. As I said, I can't fairly and accurately make the total assumption here that 10 million is just going to be paid by Barcelona to Frenkie de Jong for his wages, and it's going to get it done. Because that would be a complete assumption on my part. But I think it's pretty fair to assume that has to have been part of the conversation that Richard Arnold and John Murtough had when they went to Barcelona this week. You can't ignore the elephant in the room. They knew already that the wages were an issue, and it was obvious. So now that conversation, that came out on Monday or Tuesday, one of the two, that came out, and now we've got that full agreement. So there's no real need now for, after 2 visits in 2 weeks to Barcelona, Richard Arnold and John Murtough, their job is done. Our job is done as a football club. We have agreed a complete deal with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. It's now up to Barcelona to clean their fucking dishes, to hoover the floor, to sort out their own in-house bullshit. That's what they need to sort. Ryan, you're down there saying Barcelona will be dying to get that cash and register Rafinha. Of course, they can't register. They've announced Kessie. They've announced Christensen. I know, actually, Kessie played in the preseason, so they must be allowed to play him now because I think they got some money from the 6th Street deal. But still, in terms of their salary cap, which I think the 31st of July is a deadline, they want it done. They've wanted it done for a long, long time. It's like when Joan Laporta came out and said, Frenkie de Jong's not for sale. He's staying. And lots of you jumped on it. Lots of you reported it. But I kept saying to you, I said, you keep saying the word spin and spin and spin. That's the definition of it. That's what politics is. Red Army Germany, you're feeling pretty, I don't know. You don't want to be optimistic today. What are you saying? I like your optimism, but it still stinks more and more to me. It's like we're making the same mistakes as we did in the past with Sanchez, Di Maria, and Pogba. And I've got to be honest, man. I've got absolutely no idea how anybody is linking Frenkie de Jong to Alexis Sanchez, is linking Frenkie de Jong to Angel Di Maria. The Pogba situation, that's a bit of a weird one to try and draw it into. But how in the world is Frenkie de Jong anything like Angel Di Maria? A player who literally did not want to join Manchester United, a player who only wanted to join PSG, but they couldn't register at him because of FFP, and a player who just came to the club, shrugged his shoulders, sulked, then pissed off to PSG. How in the world is this situation anything like Manchester United signing Alexis Sanchez and simply paying him more wages so he didn't go to Man City? Again, I think some of you are just looking for negatives because it's a language you understand. because complaining is easier than thinking, you know what? No, this is a good. It's not the same situation in any way, shape, or form. Frenkie, trust me, I think it's because I trust my manager. Rightly or wrongly, I've got full belief in Erik ten Hag. And therefore, this entire time, I've had belief that Frenkie de Jong wants to join Manchester United, no matter what I'm reading in the press, no matter what his agent is leaking to Fabrizio Romano, no matter what anybody says. Frenkie de Jong would have told Erik ten Hag, look, I love Barcelona. I'm happy in Barcelona, but I know that the club, well, it's in dire straits financially. If they need to, if they need to sell, I'd love to join you. I'd love to join you again. I'd love to work with you again. And that is why we've not walked away from de Jong. It's why we've not really looked anywhere else. That's why I haven't even done a video on alternatives. I've written and researched a video on de Jong alternatives, and I never published it because I realized, nah, man, United just aren't looking anywhere else. Let me go down here, see what else you're saying. Ten Hag is his top choice. Of course it is. That it's not that we've got a toxic fan. Like, every fan base has toxic elements to it. But as I said, trying to draw a comparison between this de Jong situation and what happened with Di Maria and Sanchez is such a stretch. It's unreal. They are not similar situations. And trust me, I personally think that I personally think that Alexis Sanchez is probably one of the worst signings we've ever made. So I know full well how bad it is. What's the Fabrizio Romano tweeting there saying Lisandro Martinez not training with Ajax today. Manchester United are prepared to complete the signing very soon. It's a matter of time. I'm going to bring you the here we go on Lisandro Martinez when that comes out later today. And I'm also going to be doing my Lisandro Martinez report. But look, there's plenty of you watching here. I'd like to answer your questions because I think this situation has really, I suppose, drawn the worst out of the fan base. There's a person there saying, I mean, it's not toxic, this channel. It's the opposite of what I do. It's the opposite of how I present myself. I try to keep it as level-headed as possible. And as I said, I just want you all to understand why this is an update. As I said, the 65 million euros up front has increased to 75 million euros. That hopefully is Manchester United. Well, it's not hopefully. We've agreed something. We've agreed it in total now. Our job as a football club, Manchester United's job, Richard Arnold's job, and John Murtough's job is done. We've agreed everything we need to agree and agreed and signed, maybe not signed, but agreed it with Barcelona for de Jong. It's now up to Barcelona and their housekeeping department to go in there, clean the sheets, and get it done. That's all we're waiting for now. Chetan, you're saying, guys, I think at this point, Barca has abandoned Frenkie de Jong. It's not about abandoning Frenkie de Jong. I'm just going to be so happy for this Frenkie de Jong fucking situation to be out of the way, and I don't have to speak about him on a live stream again. Really, this one's, I suppose, pushed us all to the brink. Because it's the summer where we're all thinking and hoping and feeling that change is coming at the club, for us to then get embroiled in what probably is, I will probably say this is the worst transfer saga I've seen. And I remember Schneider, I remember Gaetan, I remember all of them. Fabregas, Bale, all of them. This one in particular has been an absolute stinger because we know it's Ten Hag's number one. Without de Jong, this summer, I don't think can be presented as a success. But I've maintained the whole way through. I said, I think it will get done. I really feel like it will get done. No matter what Barcelona said, no matter what they postured, no matter what their president said about him not being for sale, and no matter what is said here by his agent, the fact that he still wants to stay at Barcelona. I've told you, the reason he's saying it, I'll say it one more time for anybody who doesn't really particularly understand that point. His agent, Frenkie de Jong's agents, have been telling the press time and time again one thing. He's happy at Barcelona and his priority is to stay. Probably because it's linked directly to these bonuses, which he is owed, which, again, this is an assumption, that may well be linked towards the fact that he gave up those and then got an extra, because that's a 10 million euro loyalty bonus randomly in 2023-24. That's a bit of an obscurity. That must be there for a reason. Randomly halfway through a contract to have a loyalty bonus of 10 million euros, probably linked to the fact that down here, he's deferred his wages to help the club. And that is exactly why his agent will reiterate from day one, he wants to stay. And that's what he wants. But this is a big update, right? Look, I try and present myself as calmly and as objectively as possible. Sometimes I get caught up in it all, and we all do. And I just can't, as I said, I can't fucking wait now until this De Jong situation is over, until we get De Jong, not in a Barcelona kit, but in a Manchester United kit. And I want to see him smiling in a picture alongside Erik ten Hag. That's going to be a cracking day. Luke, he's saying, check Twitter, bro. Martinez, I just covered that. That's that. He's not training with Ajax. It's almost like we're going to get a here we go today. We've covered all of that. No update on that one, but it's a good one. Danny, you're saying, look, it's trust Ten Hag's judgment. And if he wants to chase this player to the dying death, then let's go. No matter what, the best signing is Erik ten Hag. I completely agree with that, my friend. Nilan, you're saying, do you think we'll end up paying Frenkie de Jong his wages? I don't trust Barcelona at all. Jeez, I can't trust Barcelona. Nobody can trust Barcelona. And Rafinha, you're a madman. What? I don't know how you can possibly move to Barcelona right now, given the position that that club is in financially and witnessing what they're doing with Frenkie de Jong. I would say that's pretty poor advice from an agent perspective of Rafinha, because I think he'll run into problems. I really, really do. Frenkie de Jong, man. Oh, my God. It's going to be so... I'm not going to wax lyrical about him until we actually get that done. I'm holding back on any sort of transformative videos, things I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. I've been holding and holding and holding, and I will continue to hold because I don't want to jinx anything. I really don't want to jinx anything. Some of you are telling me to check out Fabrizio Romano's tweet. What's he saying then? Let's have a look. What's up? What's old Fabby been saying? Let's have a look. Martinez. I've already covered Martinez. Right. He's replied to United Report. What's he said down here? He's trying to clarify probably what a lot of you are saying in the comments here. Never said he doesn't want to be there. He wants to stay at Barcelona. What was the question? Spending money on a player that doesn't want to be here, as in doesn't want to join Manchester United. And then Fabrizio reiterating here, I've never said that he doesn't want to be at Manchester United. He wants to stay at Barcelona. It's a small but key difference. And thank you, Fabrizio, for tweeting that out. I don't know how people can't take a step back, have a breath, and understand that the idea that he wants to stay at Barcelona and would also be happy at Manchester United can both exist at the exact same time. Because that's what it is. And that's why Ten Hag has told the club, keep going after him, guys. Trust me, he'll be happy at the club. I know who wants to play for me. I've already spoken to him. He's given me the thumbs up. He wants to stay at Barca. Of course he does. It's his dream club. He's maintained that since day one. But if he's going to get sold, he knows full well that Manchester United will be a place he'll be happy to work under me. I've brought that to you, that update there from Fabrizio Romano. And that's what this is the thing I've been trying to argue with for a long time. But I tell you what, I'm going to probably get drunk off my face when we get a here we go with Frenkie de Jong. I'm looking forward to that. You're looking forward to it as well. As I said, the key difference there, that's what I'm trying to explain. The key difference is the fact that he can want to stay at Barcelona, his dream club, and also be happy joining Manchester United at the same time. People seem to think that they're two completely different foreign things and only one of them can exist. And it's just not correct. All right? It's just not correct. I really shouldn't have used that word this morning. But look, Frenkie de Jong, I've been... confident's the wrong word. I've been naively confident that we would get that deal done. With everything that's gone on, I refuse to think that United would have gone this far down the line if we didn't have like utter assurances, like confirmations and guarantees from de Jong and his agents that he will join Manchester United and be a happy player at the club. Because Ten Hag wouldn't have done that. He's no fool. Ten Hag is not a fool. He would have picked up the phone and rang him straight away. He's got his number. Calm. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. It's happening. Everyone stay calm. Need to get Steve Carell in here. Orlando, you're saying that why such an obsession with one player by another player? I think it's stupid. Barca have bought Kessie, who is better than De Jong. Orlando, that's such a waste of a super chat. That's such a silly comment. Kessie, come on, people. I think people just try to wind me up sometimes. Kessie, I'll leave that to everyone in the comments. Kessie's better than De Jong. Who knew? Who knew? But Frenkie de Jong, I'm excited about it. You're excited about it. I'll be here when the here we go comes. And if you don't, honestly, if at this point you still don't understand the obsession about why Erik ten Hag wants Frenkie de Jong at Manchester United, I don't think you ever will. Because if you don't, as I said, at this point, if you really haven't got it in your head as to why, then, well, that's up to you. But look, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to get my Lisandro Martinez scout report done. I thought that was going to be out by now, but we got a little bit delayed. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. I try to bring you all the news accurately when I can and when I do. And I only go live outside of that 9:30 slot in the morning when I think it's a big update. And this is a big one. To reiterate, just a little quick roundup for anybody who's just joining in. Man United have agreed to pay not 65 million euros up front for Frenkie de Jong, but 75 million euros up front for Frenkie de Jong. That's after negotiations from John Murtough and Richard Arnold on Monday or Tuesday in Barcelona. We've got the full agreement. It's now up to Barcelona just to sort the wages out. And maybe that extra 10 million euros, maybe that's part of it. But look, I'll come back here whenever there's a big update. I'll bring it here. So make sure you subscribe to United People's TV. But, whoa, it's quite exhausting talking about De Jong now in the interactive shows. It really is. But look, take it easy, everyone. I'll see you soon.